Hi, welcome to my channel, Rohit Speaks. And in this episode 2 of our drug crisis, I'm going to talk about a drug called as Propofol. And I'll talk about its abuse and why it is popular or you might have heard about this drug. So, what is Propofol? So, Propofol is usually a general anesthesia or anesthetic, which is mostly used as a sedative. It just puts the patients to sleep. It is very quick reacting. It's like around 100 mgs or less if first injection, and the patient goes to sleep in within few minutes. And then you have to have continuous dose and couple of micrograms per, depending on the body weight of the patient, to keep the patient asleep. If you don't give additional propofol, so one injection, it will keep you asleep for a couple of minutes and it wears off very quickly. Maybe around 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, the first injection, it will wear off. If you keep continuously going, the patient will continue to sleep. So it is pretty safe to use. There is not many side effects except when you're injected, there might be some pain. So they put a little bit of lidocaine and then inject you with propofol. In some severe cases, sometimes based on how your cardiac condition is and how does your doctor administer this drug, it might have side effect of your heart rate going too low, and sometimes in rare cases your urine turns green. It's very rare, but yes, there is a fact that your urine turns green when there is propofol injected to you. So in general, this drug was pretty safe to use for surgery, for anesthesia. But the problem was the dose, the overdose of it, and what would cause the issue with this drug. And that is what has happened with one of the celebrity, or as many of you know, the king of pop, Mr. Michael Jackson, and he died due to the overdose of propofol. So I'll explain you how he died uh, due to an injection of propofol. So how does it work? That's what you need to know. So in general, you're human. You work because your brain works your work through your firing of your neurons. Neurons are the nerve cells, which fires and helps you work whatever you want to do with your body. And it is generally done by firing of the neurons. The firing happens through one neuron to another neuron, and there is this synapse, which is a space between one neuron to another. That's when the firing happens, and the next one works, and the next one works. So basically, what propofol does is there are receptors in these neurons. It just goes, binds to that, and allows chlorine to come inside to the neurons and doesn't allow your neurons to relax or like to go through another cycle. It just keeps it inactive. So when the one neuron is not firing the another neuron, the action will stop, and that leads to sedation, amnesia, sometimes CNS. These are all different side effects, but your muscle relaxes, your heartbeat slows down, and you go to sleep. And that's how it works. It basically binds to a receptor called as GABA. Those who are in general audience wants to know a little bit depth is basically GABA receptors. This drug goes and binds to it and it opens the receptor. So the chlorine ions in your body go inside the nerves and doesn't allow your nerves to go through an action potential. So it relaxes it. That state is called as hyperpolarization. And what happens is when one nerve relaxes, it doesn't fire the other one. And as a result, what will happen is that you will go to your state of inactivity, or your muscles will relax, no nerve action, no firing of your muscles, and you go to sedation and your heart rate also slows down. Now, propofol is not the only one. There are several other drug candidates who can do the same action. There is fluoranes, isofluranes, thiopental, which have been used previously during surgery. All the doctors used to use thiopental or sodium thiopental, what it is called. Now that has been taken place by propofol because thiopental had a little bit of side effects of patients still being very super drowsy, not able to recover. But propofol, when the person goes to sleep, it can recover very quickly into an active state. Hence, this has been now a drug of choice for anesthesia during surgery. There is others, etomidate and alpha-laxone, but we are talking about propofol. Now, what has happened in case of Mr. Michael Jackson? So this is his doctor, Mr. Conrad Murray, and according to him, he gave Michael Jackson uh, 25 mgs of propofol, and that's enough to give you a couple of minutes of really like deep sleep. And Michael Jackson at that time, he was undergoing several stress of reviving his career. He was going to do a live performance, and he was preparing for it, and he requested his doctor to give him some propofol so he can sleep for a few minutes and then he can work again. And according to the doctor, he gave him 25 mg, which was technically supposed to be small enough to give him a couple of minutes of sleep, maybe 10 to 20 minutes. But definitely there has been some misinformation, and he might have given him more than what was required. And now, why would Michael Jackson die? As I said, this drug is pretty safe in general. It wears off very quickly. It has a half-life of 40 minutes. So why would the person, or why would, in case of Mr. Michael Jackson, would die? So one thing I told you, that your heart rate slows down. So this is your normal rhythm, which goes around 60 to 100 beats per minute for a normal person who is active, who's doing everything. During sleep, it slows down to around 60-ish, 70s. When you're sleeping, your heart rate slows down so your body can relax and sleep. But when you give propofol, it goes into much slower heart rate, less than 60 beats per minute. So basically, your beats per minute is slowed down. And I think, or that might have happened in case of Mr. Michael Jackson, that the dose was too high, that the heart rate slowed down much lower than it was required, that your body could not recover. Your brain went inactive, your heart went inactive, your muscle went inactive, and that might have caused to his death. And which, here is an article also in Harvard publication where you can read about it. But this was, or one of the abuse of the propofol, which, I mean, definitely it's a celebrity, the king of pop, who died of it. And so propofol nowadays has been used by several of these celebrities who want to sleep, who have insomnia and doesn't want to take melatonin. I have explained melatonin in previous video, but propofol is very quick to act. It acts within few minutes, you go to sleep, and it wears off also very quickly. So there's no side effects. So it has been used by a lot of celebrities, a lot of people who are undergoing stress. The good thing is not a normal person can inject itself. They need a doctor on site, because the doctor will inject you, and when you're sleeping, and he will be there till you come back. So he has to be there, he has to be present for you to come back again, back from sleep. So that, in Michael Jackson's case, Dr. Murray was there, but he said he didn't wake up, or don't know what was wrong with him, and he couldn't tell. But in general, propofol is used under doctor's administration. It cannot be, you cannot just take it and put it on yourself. So it's not easily available. It's always under strict control. However, with these celebrities, the doctor has to be also known to use this properly, or he knows how to calculate his dosage based on the patient. Another bad point with propofol is that patient develops tolerance. So for example, when I say tolerance, is that I gave you 25 mg, you slept, you activated, and you're done. I do it, another 25 worked again, but then over that 25 will not work. Now you would need another 15. So now you need 40 mg, another 15. So normally, which 25 would have worked on a normal person, if you have constantly taking propofol, you would require more and more and more. And maybe in Michael Jackson's case, he would need more and more, and he would not sleep. And maybe Dr. Conrad knew that, and he might have given him a larger than what he needed, and it might have caused him his heart to beat slow, go the heartbeat to go so slow that it led to his death. So this is another drug which has been abused, not by common people, but mostly the celebrities or the people who have access to it. So when you are, or somebody who is considering or getting propofol, definitely it should be given, and it's always given by a doctor who is well known about how much dose, how much to be given, and he has to be present, and he has to constantly monitor your heart rate so that you don't fall into a coma or in a slow heart rate episode. So this, I just wanted to highlight this drug, propofol, which has been in news for a while, and how it works. So it's, in general, it is pretty safe to use under, definitely under proper conditions and monitoring by a doctor or anesthesiologist. But there have been also abuse in this case, Mr. King of Pop. So I hope you learned a little bit about propofol and how it works. In the next episode, I'll try to cover the opioid crisis, which has been a big in around the world, and what it has led to the drug industry, and what it is causing to a general population. So that will be my next episode, which I'll cover pretty soon. And till then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.